Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of this 3-part series on, why I think it's beneficial to switch from a kibble-based diet to a balanced raw diet for your dogs. Now, part 2 is geared towards things that people often worry about when they think about feeding raw meats to their dogs. A few of those concerns are, parasites, worms, and just the array of health problems that are, that exist in their minds that, that's going to arise and they're going to have to deal with. And a lot of those problems are just not ever going to happen and never going to be seen. Now, not to be oblivious to the fact that all dogs are different, and there may be dogs that cannot tolerate raw meats. Now, every dog is different, just as to say that every human being is different. So, take that into consideration. This is not a video that's saying that this is the absolute best thing. This is just my video, and why I think that raw diets are better. And I would say 95% of the cases where dogs are meant to tolerate raw diets, and the other 5% is just your dogs with all types of allergies and health concerns and limitations that prevent them from being able to digest raw meats. But that aside, what are some of the things that people often worry about when it comes to feeding raw food? And some of those things, as I said, are parasites and worms. And will feeding raw meats give my dog worms? And a lot of the times, the answer is no. Why is the answer no? Parasites are found in the gut of animals. Those are your worms, tapeworms, flatworms, hookworms, whatever worms and parasites there is. They're usually found in the intestines. Now, we don't feed the guts. No one that I know goes out and buys a pound of guts to bring home to their dog. That it just doesn't happen. I don't recommend it. So first off, we're not feeding guts, so chances of developing parasites are very slim. Now, I have read that there are parasites that do make it from the guts into the actual muscle meat of certain animals, and I've also come to learn from other people who have been feeding raw meats for a very long time that this can be dealt with very simply and very easily. The way that you deal with this is when you go out and buy your meats and bring it home, you can go ahead and wash it and just place it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer and freeze it for 2 to 3 days. Deep freezing your meat will kill off all parasites that may be found in the muscle meat. And as simple as that, parasites will be out of the equation. So there goes parasites. Parasites are no longer something to worry about. People also think about their dogs eating and ingesting all of this bacteria and stuff like that. Now, my answer to that question is that dogs have very, 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 very acidic stomachs. Their stomachs are made to break down meat and to break down any type of harmful bacteria or harmful foreign body that they may ingest. So it's very unlikely that your dog's gonna ingest bacteria and have like substantial health concerns that are gonna affect its health. Dogs are products of nature, and they are built as predators. They're carnivores, to consume meats in the wild, and you won't have dogs in the wild going, "Hey, I'm not gonna eat that. I'm not gonna eat that boar because I think he has some bacteria on his ribs there." So dogs don't say stuff like that. They'll they're just gonna devour that boar, or that bird, or whatever it is that they're hunting in the wild. So we gotta realize that dogs are just built by Mother Nature to handle certain certain things, and they're built to handle raw meats. Just looking at the anatomy of a dog's mouth with its canines and incisors and all of its scissored shaped teeth, all of this stuff, geared towards just killing and shredding and pulling apart meat, stuff like this. It's common sense, and should really tell us that, dogs should not be eating kibble. They should be eating a meal that is going to be beneficial to them, and that's biologically appropriate. So you know if so there's really not much to be concerned with if you're educated enough, and you do a little bit of research to understand that things can be done to avoid parasites and bacterial infection and stuff like that. So just you're not gonna go out there and pick up a dead raccoon from behind the trash can to feed to your dogs. At least I hope not. You're going out there and you're purchasing meats from a supermarket, from a butcher, a reputable place of business, and that's what you're gonna feed to your dog. So very slim chances of developing any type of health problems from feeding a balanced diet. Now, if there's anything else that I didn't mention that you want to bring to light, and maybe share some of your thoughts, and if you have any questions, please go ahead, leave me some comments down below. I'll answer any questions. I'll get back to any suggestions and any comments. But that's pretty much what part two, and just to sum up, that things can be done to prevent parasitic and bacterial infection. It's really not as bad as people make it out to be, and the chances of hurting your dog by feeding raw meats are slim to none, with a little bit of education and preparation. So stay tuned for part 3, where we talk about the numbers and the real nitty gritty, as a lot of people like to call it, because this is basically to make it or break it. The numbers and the cost. So stick around for part 3, and I'll see you soon.